never, ever, ever used and put anything under a cup or a mug unless I was setting a beer on it.
Really?
Yeah.
Ruined good wood.
What?
There's condensation regardless of what's in the glass.
I guess if it's hot coffee or tea or something, okay, you don't want it to burn a table. Is that what you're worried about?
It's condensation.
It's what?
Condensation?
I know what condensation is.
Okay.
Have you ever seen a coffee table that's been damaged by...
I guess I have, but I thought it was heat. But I guess I'm just an idiot.
Yes.
Also, we need to do better for the cold open.
This is good.
This is fine.
I like it.
Yeah.
It's good because you're picking on me being an idiot.
Exactly. That's one of us is always at the receiving end of this.
Because there's someone out there who doesn't know shit about condensation, and we're teaching them now, thanks to you, Steve-O.
and that person's name is Steve-O.
He's gonna listen to this back and be like,
condensation. That's a thing.
Josh has the Divergent series.
Hey everybody, and welcome to episode 9 of Rather Replaying, the podcast where we talk about how we'd rather be playing games than
getting up 6 hours from right now to catch my flight back home and leaving the wonderful city of Seattle.
I'm Josh.
I'm Elliot.
And I'm Steve-O.
And I'm sorry you guys gotta go.
I'm sorry that you have to get up that early, you fucking idiot.
I'm just gonna stay up. This is ridiculous. I'm not gonna wake. I'm gonna sleep through my alarm because it's almost 9 o'clock right now. We're not gonna be done with this for a while, and then we still have to eat dinner.
Yeah.
And it's gonna be well after at least close to midnight by the time we're ready for bed, and then I have to be up 3 hours later.
I'll just stay up with you and play Mario Kart.
I think we should do that.
That sounds good to me.
Good luck. I'm having a good night's sleep, lads. I'm a sensible man. I don't know what yous are doing.
I'm gonna sleep on the plane.
You don't fly out till like 1 tomorrow. So
I know, that's because I'm a smart man. I'm an intelligent person. Schoolboy error. Booking a flight for 5:30.
I'm smarter than both of you. I'm not flying anywhere.
Every other flight was hundreds and hundreds of dollars more. I was taking this fucking flight.
Yeah, fair.
PAX is done. I came here for PAX, and I guess Josh sometimes, but mostly PAX.
I figured it's fine.
It was a good excuse to come visit, though. And
Josh or PAX?
Well, both. Well, what I meant was PAX was a good excuse to come visit Josh. So that's what I mean by both. Yeah, and this city. I've never been out to the West Coast, and Seattle is kind of beautiful, lads. I gotta say.
It's had perfect weather the whole time. It's been very, very good.
It's got a little warm during the mid-afternoon, probably got up to like 84, 85. But other than that, like mornings were awesome. Evenings got a nice cool breeze, and you
got your coffee shop across the street, which was the quaintest, most kindest, adorable.
Shout out to C&P Coffee.
Yeah.
Yes.
They were really nice to us.
Very supportive.
Yeah.
Asked us of what we were doing because we're wearing matching Rather Be Playing shirts.
Yeah. And like I told you guys, when I first moved here and I walked across the street and got some coffee, they were like, I told them I just moved in, and they're like, oh, it's on the house. And I'm like, I love you guys.
Yeah.
So
can't argue with that.
They're so friendly. Like really, that West Coast chilled out, like really, really nice, really chatty. It was a good start to our days on both of the days that we went to PAX.
Especially coming in off the fucking Newark airport. Flight of just anger.
They're not friendly there?
Frustrations. It was nice. It was very nice. This will be the PAX album.
Guess so.
Album.
Yeah.
Album? Are we going to do like 10 tracks or?
So play on like the White Album. Like rather be playing the PAX album.
Uh-oh, we might have to edit that out.
Yeah, that was bad.
Not sure what that means.
That was awesome.
That was terrible.
This will be the episode title.
We'll let the viewers decide.
No, listeners.
Listeners, viewers, readers. Come on, lads.
Just drink your beer. By the way, this podcast is sponsored by Deschutes Inversion IPA. Deschutes. For when you want to get drunk while doing a podcast.
It's working.
And also by the Divergent series on audiobook. Sorry, I'll stop looking at things in Josh's house now.
My wife is going to start getting mad at you for making fun of her audiobooks.
I mean, she's the one who bought them. So.
I know. I'm supposed to make fun of my wife on the podcast.
Yeah, especially when she's provided a roof over our heads for the last couple of days.
Do it behind her back, not on air.
Shit. You're right, we blew it.
So lads, we were here for PAX.
Yeah, we went to PAX, played a lot of games, saw a few of the events, some of the panels, and had an all-around great time.
It was brilliant. I absolutely loved it. My first ever convention, and I didn't know what to expect at all. And it was brilliant. It's one of those things that you could only do in this country, in the America.
They don't,
I call it.
Yeah, they're outlawed in other countries.
None whatsoever.
No, but I mean, okay, I'm coming from Ireland. Oh, apparently they tried to have a convention there. Maybe I talked about that on the podcast before, and it was an absolute disaster.
Oh, was it?
Yeah.
It's like the Fire Festival of PAX.
So they had like
games.
They had 10 people in the entire show to look after 3,000 attendees.
Oh.
It was like really bad. Okay, it mustn't have been 10. It was a little more than that.
12.
But apparently, like, people had paid hundreds of dollars, brought their kids across the country to go see this, and they were told, just you're not getting in. And those that got in could hardly play games. There was lots of systems.
It was
not
a
even
game
up and
convention.
running. Yeah.
I just assumed it was just like a...
No, this is the first ever games. I think maybe even they called it Gamescom Ireland.
They called it PAX.
Yeah.
But
we don't,
it was an
you
absolute
don't have
disaster.
to laugh at the jokes. you don't owe them that. None of us do. That's crazy. Why the...
I don't know. It's just a shambles. I'm not trying to diss Ireland too much, but in this case, it was a step too far. It was kind of like, like there is so many gamers there, and there's so many people who are big into games, and as well, like the economy's they're recovering, and it's doing pretty all right at the moment.
They're our favorite tax loophole.
I'm sure.
Rather be playing would be in the red if it wasn't for our secret Irish headquarters.
But that all said, as much as I had fun at PAX, I don't know who the fuck is crazy enough to do this for 4 days.
Yeah.
Two is good.
Dead.
First day, you kind of go and scope out everything you want to see. If you get lucky that and there's no line for the thing you want to play, great. But you scope it out beforehand the first day, and then the second day you come back in and have a plan. Say, I want to go play this, 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 and this.
But are we just old people, Josh? Are we just like? Is that the problem?
Should
we have got here on Thursday?
No, we're just impatient, and I don't want to stand in line for hours on end.
Yeah. So that immediately ruled you out of seeing a few things.
Yes. Yeah, I was not going to stand in line for Super Mario Odyssey. I wasn't going to stand in line for Metroid Samus Returns. I mean, as much as I know that I would have loved to have played either of those, there was one. Super Mario Odyssey comes out in like a month and a half, and I think Metroid is even. I think it's sooner than that, or I don't know. It's
sometime.
It's not. It's coming out in soon enough time, and I know there's nothing I'm going to go play that's going to be like make me want to buy it more. Suddenly, I mean. Or make me suddenly go, yeah, this game's not for me. I'm pretty sure I know what to expect with these games. I mean, hell, Metroid Samus Returns is a remake of a game I already enjoy.
Yeah.
So,
wait, you enjoy it?
Metroid 2?
Yes.
Yeah. It was good. I mean, it's not great, but it's good.
What are you getting at?
Just that it's not a great game.
Oh, it's not a good game?
I liked it.
But it's a Metroid game.
It's incredibly dated. It's like Metroid 1.
Well, yes, but I also played the AM2R, another Metroid 2 remake.
But that's not.
No, I know but it's a remake of it. It's
not. But yeah, I'm not talking about that.
But I'm saying is I already have now an experience of someone remaking an old game that I liked at least at the time. I mean, I'm not going on my way to play Metroid 2 right now.
All I was saying was Metroid 2 is a poorly aged game.
Yes. No.
Okay.
Yeah. That's poorly aged, but I mean, at the time, it was decent.
Another Metroid 2 remake is a fantastic remake.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not arguing that.
But are you arguing with the fact that Nintendo are capable of making something as good as another Metroid 2 remake?
We've spent way too much time on just... Josh just said, I very much enjoyed the original. And I did,
but I also played it when I was like 10.
And I had to scoff. So that was it. I mean, that was all. And we spent...
Just use your words in the beginning, and we can skip the argument.
Did we mention? We should probably mention real quick that this is the first time we've done an episode with all of us in the same room together.
Yeah.
So we're making eye contact, and it's really freaking me out.
It is.
I'm not used to this.
I've got my vomit bucket next to me, so I'm already ready.
Okay.
I can't look at Steve that long.
Oh yeah.
He's just so jealous of the beard. So
it's true.
one day, Josh, one day you might be able to grow one. I'm just joking. You won't.
I can. I got like weird patches where like this doesn't grow like right here. It's
The mange.
Yeah, it's weird. Yeah. But so there were some games there that we, like I said, I'm impatient and we had a plan going forward. But along the way, we wanted to go and we did plan to see some of the panels and some of the the presentations, if you will, of different companies and different organizations. And so while we were there, we were there on Saturday and Sunday. Today is Sunday. And we saw on Saturday, we went and saw the Inside Gearbox presentation, which
that was number 1. Yeah,
that was the first one.
Well.
Oh, go ahead, you guys.
Yeah,
go ahead.
Okay.
It was number 1.1. We tried to go to the Nintendo presentation, which
You guys did. I was like, I'm not standing in that line.
Yeah. Well, we kind of knew it wasn't going to happen.
So this was the Metroid Samus Returns panel, which was Nintendo's first panel ever at PAX, and we were very excited, and also the entire world was very excited and already in line by the time we got there. And we were like, we knew we were too late to probably realistically get in. We were like 20 minutes early maybe, and people were probably lining up at 6 a.m. and we weren't going to do that. So we just gave it a shot, and they had the enforcers out there just saying like, no more.
Yeah. And meanwhile, I'm in the Gearbox line because I'm like, I'm not dealing with that shit. So, that said, I probably should have just slept in, then gone to the Gearbox presentation.
Seriously? You're that harsh on it? Like,
so I don't really necessarily have a problem with Randy Pitchford personally or anything.
Yeah.
And yes, it was kind of entertaining where he came out and did magic tricks and shit, but I don't care about that.
Yeah.
That is not the reason I spend an hour or an hour and a half of my time to go to a fucking presentation where half the time he's dancing around making jokes and again showing how he can memorize pi to the 10,000th digit and solve a ruse. Yes, it's impressive.
It's like, dang.
But I can. I don't want to spend time doing that. That's something I'm like, okay, I'll watch a YouTube clip of that later. That's not something I want to go sit in a fucking theater and go, yeah, that was nice, but what about Borderlands 3?
But can I posit that like so many brands have been built up around a figurehead?
Yeah.
In the last 5 years, in particular, in the last 10 years, and I think what they're trying to do is make Randy Pitchford the guy, and I think he obviously loves that.
But he has to deliver something. We saw the same We Happy Few stuff we've seen before. I mean, I think it might have been a new trailer, but it was still just a trailer and nothing really new. Yeah, I honestly don't remember if it was new or not. But let's
start from the start. What were they talking about?
The first thing he said was, "We're not going to talk about Borderlands 3." So at that point, we should have just walked out.
Yes. Yeah. Yes.
And then he's like, "Instead, I'm going to show you how much pi I can memorize."
Yes.
I was like, okay.
Yeah. And then he talked about. So first off, I don't know. So the guy sitting next to me in the audience had three of the collector's editions of the Borderlands games. There was like the giant ass ultimate Handsome Jack collection, the Borderlands 2 Xbox 360 version.
Is that what those giant boxes were?
Yes.
I had no idea for a moment when I first got in. Yeah. I thought that he was going to be giving out swag.
Yeah.
And I was like, we're sitting in the right place. As soon as he starts throwing that stuff out, we're going to grab some.
How horrible would it be if he's just like, going to toss us out? And the guy next to him just snatches it.
Well, I thought he would have a few to pass out.
Well, no. The reason he had him was because Randy Pitchford was doing autographs and stuff afterwards.
It was the autograph session.
That guy was like the most like so. Okay,
he loved fucking everything.
Oh my god, I don't
fucking everything, but he loved. Nope, just go on. It's all in the.
No, but like So one of the things they announced was that they were adding Borderlands skins to Battleborn, and you would have thought the guy next to me, his team just won the Super Bowl.
Yeah, he was going for it.
I'm sitting there going, it's a fucking skin. I mean,
yeah.
And so there was that. There was the We Happy Few. And then there was like a 30. So at this point, you guys left to go to your other thing.
Well, Sorry, I'm going to slow you down again. So I totally agree. The Battleborn skins.
Yeah.
The fact that they focus on this kind of thing. Who cares about skins?
I know.
Like the
guy next to me did.
Clearly. And maybe that is what it was for. Maybe it was for the hardest of the hardcore. What I found a little more interesting about the Gearbox presentation was that there was a bit of comedy to it. Yeah, Randy Pitchford isn't everyone's taste, and personally, I'm not particularly a Magic fan at all, but at least he was trying to entertain, get something going.
But that's just like and again, I don't have a problem with that, but there has to be substance behind it. You can't just have like I'm going to make this entertaining presentation, and then I'm going to come out and be like, and then we've got Borderlands skins for Battleborn. See ya, everybody.
Yeah. I mean,
but can I keep talking about the thing a little bit?
Fine.
They had a little comedy sketch in the middle, and it was actually kind of funny. You know, we got to give them we got to give them credit for what they actually did. That got a couple of chuckles out of me. You know,
it was funny. Yeah.
Yeah, and so what I'm trying to get at is, I totally agree in terms of they didn't give us any real announcements. They didn't talk about any games. And what they did, they were talking about stuff that they want to sell you as add-ons for a game, which is. Yeah, kind of shameful, if you ask me. Actually, when they started talking about We Happy Few, it made me reflect on what I think about, Gearbox publishing. Like, they're not a good company. They don't look after the consumers at all. They're like, I watched a Jim Sterling recently, and he was talking about We Happy Few, and it was it was a lot of information for me. Like, they basically have taken a game which was in early access, which people have been paying $30 for, and it had a lot of potential, and they were looking forward to it coming out, getting a full game. And now pieces are going to get sliced off it. And it's been, gearboxed. It's been turned into Borderlands. There's going to be special editions, deluxe edition. There's going to be exclusive DLC. There's going to be DLC and DLC and DLC. And it ruins a game. Yeah. You're not getting what you potentially could have got if paying $60 gave you the full whack.
Right.
And, that was what disappointed me more about this whole thing. They were trying to sell you add-ons.
Right.
It's shitty add-ons, too. Yeah. Not even, well, again, the guy next to us didn't agree. Yes. He thought they were fantastic.
Exactly.
But yeah, they were selling add-ons, and I don't know. It was a little disappointing for us going to our first panel that's what we got,
It
was billed as inside Gearbox. So I was like, okay, tell us what you're working on. And they're like, yeah, we're working on that. But about this skin, let's talk about these skins and how I can solve a Rubik's Cube with my eyes closed.
Yeah. Okay, you're absolutely right. Yeah. That sums it up pretty well.
They had, the pie thing, he was warming up the audience. It's what you have to do when you're not confident in the show you're doing.
But the thing is, I was expecting a payoff. He was going to tie that into some, so let me tell you about how we're using what I've just learned in the next game. And I'm like,
you're right.
But it never went anywhere. That's what I was expecting from it. And then I'm just like, I should have just taken a shit instead.
It's one way of looking at it.
But so anyway, Elliot and Steve were smart and they left because they were scheduled a different session.
There was a session right after, right before that one ended, called Streaming 101. And since we've been doing a few rounds of PUBG online and Rocket League, and that's pretty much it. You did some Final Fantasy V on there as well. We thought,
by the way, I finished just in time both my games. But anyway, go ahead, continue.
Congratulations.
Yeah. Let's give it a little round of applause. Well done, Josh. It's not easy from what we hear.
Yeah.
I'll never do it.
I'd like to think I will someday. Anyway, neither here nor there. Yeah, we went to the Streaming 101 thing, which and we did try to do research here and get the names of the panelists that were on there, and we couldn't. The only one that comes to mind was the one that was easiest to remember.
Topic.
Yeah.
We will look into this. We will give them their full credit the next time out. But it was a pretty entertaining panel. They were funny people.
They were, yeah.
They clearly absolutely love what they do. Some of them do streaming as a profession, it seemed like, whereas
they quit their day jobs and eventually they quit their day got to the point where they could quit their day jobs and do this full time and be fully supported by their
Well, I mean, this, and I know this is kind of not really separate, but somewhat tangentially related. So last night when we came back, before we went back out, or before you guys went back out, rather, we were watching Twitch for a little bit, and we watched. It was Shroud, a prolific streamer. He does a lot of PUBG lately, And first off, he's really good.
It's
Yeah.
amazing.
But, like-
doing things with the keyboard that we didn't even know
so
were
fast.
possible.
It's like in between the 60 FPS frames.
But we're like watching, and Steve-O and Elliot are sitting there talking about like the donations that pop up and things
Yeah.
like that, and someone just subscribed, and yes, they're obnoxious, but you understand me. That's the thing is these guys are playing those games for 8-10 hours a day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That is their job.
Yeah.
At this point.
No,
So,
yeah, that's understood.
I mean, I don't know who's actually going out and donating. I mean, but I understand that's how they make their living.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
But kind of half the point was that they would not say that everyone can do that.
Yeah.
That was the point of
They were
streaming
very
101.
clear that don't start off by quitting your day job.
Yeah.
Yes.
And then
yes.
And the good thing is that resonated with us because we have always thought about it as just an addition. It's supplementary to the podcast. It's something that we can do that, to be honest, it is fun. It's just something we can do in our own time when we're together playing a few games, and then maybe we'll get a funny story out of it, or maybe
and it's our podcast is only once every other week, so it's a way for us to keep engaged and to keep putting out content and ways to reach people. And
I mean,
when
we do
not-
need to do just more streaming. Definitely. I mean,
Definitely.
it's been a while
and
since
it's
we've
just
actually
so
done
much fun. Like
Yes.
Yeah, I totally agree.
We want to connect, we want to interact, and what better way to do it than just by playing
Just
fucking
by
video
playing,
games?
yeah,
Like,
yeah.
you can't go wrong with it. It's so much fun.
Yeah, I mean, we started adding like news. We started curating news and things on the website.
That's true.
Elliot's written a blog post, and we'll start writing some more editorials and things like in there. But I mean, like even then, I mean, I've already had one subscriber come and say, hey, no, holy crap! Now I know that Secret of Mana I didn't know Secret of Mana was getting a remake. So at least we're putting out stuff that, it may be stuff that we may find interesting, and not necessarily everything under the sun, but it's still a curated list of things that we think you might be interested in as well.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, it's slow going, and it is literally entirely just the three of us that does every bit of it. So we can't hit everything, but it's fun, and
we enjoy doing this.
we can't quite get the podcast going every week yet. It's something we hope maybe we can do someday, but in the meantime, like, we supplement with all this other stuff.
Yeah.
And so that's why we went to the Streaming 101. Like,
Yeah.
we thought we could
and
learn some
going
stuff.
back to it, basically it was a fun little panel. It was a good chat that they had.
Yeah.
What did we learn? Their things that they were trying to teach us was, one, don't quit your day job.
Yeah.
Like,
Yes.
two, basically, make sure you do it for the right reasons, which again resonated with us.
Yeah.
We would do it because we find it fun, and maybe we would get a funny video out of it that we could share on
We've
the
had a couple.
Yeah.
So
on the website, or share with our friends, and they'd get a laugh out of it.
Yeah.
Also, more things for people who would be streaming like more regularly than us, or who would be trying to take donations. They were just telling them, like, keep an eye on your donations, have a separate account, and,
the business
like,
side of things.
basically pay your taxes and keep on top of that stuff, because that's so important. And the other thing was partnerships. Like, everyone who was on there was a partner with Mixer, which is Microsoft streaming service.
Yeah.
And they were basically saying that getting a partnership isn't what it's all about, that there are other ways to make money through streaming, and there's other ways just to enjoy it without
Patreon.
setting yourself. Patreon is
Yeah.
a big thing that they were plugging, because a lot of them use it. But it was a fun one. It was worth popping in. But again,
I like
it was kind of things that we thought we already know that.
Yeah.
or
There was no like trade secrets divulged. It was just
Yeah.
like, make sure you know what you're doing. You're accountable to all this shit, and don't quit your day job.
Yeah.
And
they kept saying that a lot.
the one good piece of advice is that I took away was, do it regularly. Keep up a regular schedule of when you're
Yeah.
going to stream.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
Treat it like a TV
And
show.
it might be something that we could do as
Something
well.
we should think about.
Yeah, we should chat and maybe come up with an evening a week that we would constantly do.
Well, I know one game we need to play, but that's coming out soon, and we will discuss that later. But yes,
What? Don't keep us in suspense. What do you keep doing? What?
Divinity Original Sin 2.
He had like 3 words left in the whole section, and we would have jumped right into it. But
I'm just saying. We'll talk about that later. But anyway, so after the streaming 101, of course, which I didn't go to again, but we did meet up later, and we went to the Waypoint panel, which
That was later in the evening.
yeah.
It was
This
suitably
podcast
awesome.
is sponsored by
It was
Waypoint.
incredible. It was just pretty much their podcast, and we were sitting in
Yes.
the audience for it. So listen for our very distinctive claps. They were in the audience.
One of
Mine wasn't.
One's a little more Irish than the other two.
Oh, it was really good. They're really charming people. They're really obviously so knowledgeable. Like Austin Walker, Patrick Clevick, Danielle Riendo, and Danica Hard. Like they've all been in the gaming sphere for a number of years. They all know their stuff.
Mhm.
They all like care about gamers, but they also care about society.
Yeah.
And they, like. I don't know. It was a really nice vibe, and it was a really fun discussion.
Yeah, I mean, and they started talking about one of the part of the conversation that was resonated with me. And again, I guess they produce stuff on Monday, right? Is that
Yeah,
right?
they go Monday and Friday.
So their podcast will probably come out the day after or the day before ours does. So you'll probably, if you listen to Waypoint, it'll already be out. But one of the things they discussed, was the kind of whole diversity within gaming, and which I thought was which was neat because I like talking about it, but I mean, it kind of is difficult for me and actually all of this kind of in general, just because in general this is three straight white males,
Straight
here.
white dudes. Yeah.
So I mean, so it's I get the notions that are out there that from the other groups that are not as privileged as we are. But it's not really having that diversity within our own little sphere right here.
Yeah.
It's kind of difficult to actually breach those topics, which I would love to talk about, but also not to the sense that I would love to get someone else in here to have that discussion
Absolutely.
with, rather than just having like this little echo chamber where we pretend we know everything, which we don't.
We don't. And we know we don't.
But yeah, that said, I just want to be like, I want to get to the level where I can make fun of you guys the way Patrick makes fun of his colleagues.
Think
I think you're past that.
That's true. Okay, good.
You just don't know how to take the sting out quite as well as he does. It burns.
be kind, Josh.
It hurts.
Be kind.
What's the point then? But it was a good panel.
They're so good together.
enjoyed
They
it.
have such great chemistry
It's
together.
just banter,
so cool
and
to
it's
see
just
them
like
together.
they trust each other as well.
Mhm.
They
Yeah.
all know that they're fighting the same fight, that they're on the same team. It's like it's nice. It's got a family vibe to it. God, we're really on Waypoint here, lads.
Yeah,
But it
You
was
guys should
it
listen
was
to
awesome.
So
It was
Stop Rather Be Playing right now.
Shut up,
and
Holly.
download
Shut up.
Waypoint.
Stop it! Do you know what you're doing?
Waypoint needs the help, guys.
Actually, though, but lastly, we had one more panel, or not really. It wasn't really. Well, I guess it was a panel, but it was a lot of presentation too. We went to go see Danny O'Dwyer, who, if you don't know, does a lot of video game documentaries. They're like crowdfunded.
No clip.
No, yeah, it's called No Clip. But he does a lot of these documentaries, and recently did one with CD Projekt Red out in Poland, and the guys who made the Witcher series. And so this was the 10th anniversary of the Witcher series, at least as far as gaming standpoint.
Can I start? You led into this so wrong. We went to go see Danny O'Dwyer. We went to see the Witcher 10-year anniversary thing.
Okay, well,
that's what it was.
Well, yeah, but Steve-O the entire time was
Welcome
like,
to-
Danny O'Dwyer, he's awesome. Have you seen his documentaries? I love them.
I wouldn't keep saying it if you hadn't watched them, lads. Just watch the Doom one and watch the Rocket League one. They're phenomenal. They're so good.
Anyway, we went to go see the Witcher
You keep
thing.
selling
It was
other
just
people's products.
It was just very coincidental
Sponsored by
that
No
Danny
Clip.
was there. So
You know what? No Clip is sponsored by Rather Be Playing from now on. Nope, we can't afford it. Go on.
it's a free sponsorship. So we went down there back to the theater where we went to the Gearbox thing. So this is a lot better already because it wasn't Gearbox. And they kind of went through the video. They had like video clips put together for The Witcher 1, 2, and 3.
It was pretty like I really liked how they planned it, how it was presented. It started off with Danny O'Dwyer coming out onto the stage, and he knows these guys so well at this point. He went over there like at least once or twice with GameSpot as well.
Right.
Talking to them, especially in the build up to Witcher 3, which was such a huge release.
Yeah.
And deserved all of the press that it got from start to finish because Witcher 3 is a fantastic game.
Yes.
It's brilliant. Have you both beaten it?
I have, yes.
Have you played much of it?
Nope.
You've never played it at all?
I don't have it.
You don't
What?
have it, Elliot?
No.
I've got it on PS4, and I bought it on PS4
I have on
because
PC.
I bought the complete edition thinking that I could pop it in and just start from the expansion packs. No.
Yeah, you can.
No.
Yeah.
No, you can't.
No, you can't.
I know. I was raging.
So
Can't you?
Well, you see, I had completed the game on PC.
Oh, that's
So I
why,
bought it
okay.
on because I wanted to
Oh.
sit on the sofa and play the expansions, and I assumed I could just start off one of the expansions. And when I booted it up, and it was like, try playing
Start new game.
what do you call it? Hearts of Stone or
Yeah,
what's the
Heart
other
of
one?
Stone and Blood and Wine.
Yeah, so it was Hearts of Stone. I think was the first one. I tried to click into it, and it was just like, nope.
Yeah.
That's for New Game Plus. And I was like, oh well, I guess I bought this, and I'm never gonna play it.
Yeah.
So I'll give it to you, Elliot. You got to play it. It's really good.
No,
Your
I-
brother was obsessed with it, wasn't he?
Yeah.
Played it a lot.
He played it obsessively for like a summer and killed the whole game.
Yeah.
Killed all the DLC.
Yeah.
I did everything on the new game, and then I was like, I kind of want to play New Game Plus. So I started it up, but I haven't really gotten in further than that.
Did you buy the DLC?
Yeah,
Did
no,
you?
yeah, I beat Blood and Wine and Hearts of Stone.
Oh, you did?
Yeah.
Wow, man. I didn't realize that. Why? So, for
I have
starters,
played
how
Witcher.
American did I sound
I have
there?
played Witcher 1, 2, and 3 in the DLC, so I've played them all.
Okay,
Oh, wow.
you beat us.
Okay.
You beat us.
Yeah.
You beat us soundly.
I'm t-
Elliot, you've never beaten any of them.
No.
So I know neither of you have played Witcher 1. It does have some quirks to it, and the combat is very rhythm based rather than like tactical.
Yeah.
But I still like the story, and I think it's actually still a pretty good game. I mean, yes, Witcher 2 and Witcher 3 definitely improve upon it.
Yeah.
But I would still recommend at least trying Witcher 1 and seeing if you like it. Play through the first act.
Give me some credit. I played through the first act. I just got onto the town.
Okay.
And like as you get there, the shit's going down.
Yeah.
And there's like these horrifying creatures attacking, and it's like, wow, this is really atmospheric. This is really kind of creepy. And then I kind of switched it off and didn't turn it on again.
There's
so
just
I'll
something
get back
about
to
it that I really enjoyed. I just don't know. It's just it's fun, but like I understand there's some kind of like weird shit like in with how the game works, but I still enjoy it. Like I just like running around the city. It just looks. I know it's older. It's 10 years old at this point, but it looks. It's just nice to run around and do stuff, and then some of it's repetitive, and some of it's dumb, and some of the combat's really easy once you figure out the stances and you know what signs to use and stuff. But
Yeah.
I don't know. It's just a nice game to play. I don't know. It's just the easiest way to put it for me. I don't know.
It was really interesting to hear them talk about it as well. And the thing that I really enjoyed about it was the fondness and how much they care about that first game.
Yeah.
Like it put them on the map. It was so hard for them to sell, you know, but they did it because they believed in it. And as well, it's Polish folklore. I want something like this
Yeah.
from Irish folklore, Irish mythology. I want this. I feel like Ireland deserves it. Like the tales are so rich and so like the
You never played the Ulysses game?
I wonder, is there actually an Irish game out there about Cuchulainn and the Irish tales? Like there's such a wealth there. Anyway, getting off topic. Witcher 1 is meant to be a great game. I have played that first act, and the quest and stuff and the characters in it, you can tell us this, Josh.
Is that how you pronounce it? What
Josh
you
can spell Cuchulainn. I'm so impressed.
Wow. Is that what you? Is that?
That's exactly it. I'm so
Okay, I always
impressed.
said Cuchulainn because I didn't know how. I didn't. Know, I mean, that's how it looks. That's how you read it in English.
I'm
I
just no, man. You've done
Okay.
great. I'm really impressed that you spelled that.
so
I'm
there's
really
also-
well done.
As someone who's only played like I think I played one more act past you, Sivo. You said you're
Yep.
just past the first one. I think I got to the start of the third one. It wasn't just that impressed me about how you know they very much love it and still very much appreciate it. It's a very sweet spot in all of their memories, but also the business decisions they were making in that time, which were huge risks.
Yeah.
To just maintain complete control over the IP.
Yeah.
Every deal that was
Yeah,
offered to them.
the insight that we got into that
Yeah.
was amazing.
Yeah.
You're right. It like he's such a smart guy.
Yeah, like there's this fledgling company from this country that's not known for video games.
Yeah.
No one's giving them a chance. They can't even get their foot in the door. Finally, someone does, and they're like, "We'll do this, but we own all the rights." And they still like didn't do that. Went and hired lawyers, which they couldn't afford to get the deal they needed. And it's just like, and because of that, we have free of like third-party publisher control.
Yeah.
Like for the gamers Witcher games, and it's so cool to see how that came about.
Yeah. It really was such a clash. It like contrasted so well to Gearbox. This is like the first panel that we went to and the last panel that we went to were two like companies,
polar opposites,
absolute polar opposites in how they treat their consumers, how they go about building something that they want to sell. Like Gearbox basically want to sell you a game, slice off parts of it, or just add on things which are immaterial for the sake of selling for a few more bucks. Whereas like CDPR want to like build a game that they feel is worth their consumers' money. Yeah. I know that could just be like them pulling the wool over our eyes or just telling consumers what they want to hear. But when their games play that out, when their games actually stand up to that, like every quest in Witcher 3 is handcrafted. It is this culture of like competitiveness between the writers to make something more exciting or more interesting or more heartfelt than the guy next to you. It's just like, I wish every company could keep control of their IP, could be as smart. Yeah. Now, in fairness, they were a publishing company. So they were publishing games in Eastern Europe. Yeah. So they had a big bucket of cash in order to fund their own games.
I didn't
so
realize
that's why they were able to do it. Right. And the reason that they needed a publisher in North America was because they needed the distribution links, they needed the advertising know-how. So that, like, I guess we should try and jump on through the games here. Yeah. They also showed clips of Witcher 2, like touching on different parts of the story. A game for me, which is in my top 5 all time. An absolute amazing game. It's basically a political thriller based in fantasy medieval times. You know, it's a fantastic game. Elliot, please play it. It's just so good.
I'm gonna finish the first one at some point.
Backlog roulette.
Yeah, I would fucking love that.
Would you really? You wouldn't play it though. Come on,
I do the first one for sure.
Oh, you played the last one? Oh, okay. So Josh, you pick Witcher 1. I pick Witcher 2, and then you can pick whatever you want for yourself.
I'll pick Witcher 1. So I want to start with Witcher 1. Witcher 1 comes before Witcher 2.
You'll do whatever Backlog Roulette tells you. Or maybe you'll play through Witcher 1.
So here's what you're going to do. You're going to pick Witcher 1. I'm going to pick Silent Hill. Yeah. Steve-O's going to pick Silent Hill 2. And you're going to pray you land on it 2.
And then I'm just going to play The Last of Us instead.
One of the big things that, at least myself, I was not really concerned about were, I didn't really have any desire to see like the AAA games. I mean, like I think like I mentioned earlier, you know, Mario Odyssey and Metroid, I know they're coming out. There's nothing really that's going to change my mind on
going to get them anyway.
Wanting to play, wanting to play those. Same thing with like things like Far Cry 5. What else was out there? Wolfenstein, we didn't play it, but we walked by, and Elliot and I have both been playing through the original Wolfenstein and are both having a blast. And I think once Wolfenstein 2 comes out, it's something I'm going to want to play.
We're going to all have to pick it up. Actually, it's one that we could all play together.
Yeah. We did see a few of the bigger names. I played.
Well, we kind of wandered past all of the major booths.
But I'm saying, as far as the major ones, we tried a few. I mean, we did focus more on indies, but
we wandered past Sony, and we actually. A couple of those we would have been interested in seeing.
Yeah, I mean, there were some interesting things there.
Knack 2. Just me?
You probably could have played that.
Crickets.
No, there's a line.
Oh, there was a line?
I mean, there was
I hope it was an ironic line.
It was. It might have been like 3 people, and I just didn't want to wait for anything. I just like, there's so much to see. I'm just going to keep walking.
I just never had any desire to play Knack, let alone Knack 2.
That's okay. I have it. I played it.
Did you play it? Did you beat it?
No. But it's,
I heard it was really bad, and I guess it was one of the first out the door, wasn't it?
It's directed by the guy who designed the PS4.
Yeah.
So like,
the things that really caught my eye in the Sony booth though were the VR stuff. Yeah. Which I guess we could kind of touch on a few of them, but as well, Detroit Become Human, obviously the Lost Legacy.
Uncharted Lost Legacy. I mean,
Uncharted-
that's out already though. So
Yeah, I know, but at the same time, because I'm not in a hurry to buy it,
right.
Because Uncharted 4 just didn't feel that good to me, guys. Uncharted
Oh.
2 still the best,
Sure.
the best.
I agree with that, but Uncharted 4 was good and certainly good enough to look forward to Lost Legacy.
Actually, it kind of made me feel like, I've got a bit bored of these controls and I don't like the shooting, and I'm not sure I want to play through a shooter like this again.
Man, really?
I know, it's
Like,
really
that
weird.
much?
And I've reflected on it, and we're getting sidetracked again.
Yeah.
Although, but we did the same. Sony, we kind of skimmed through them because you would have had to use the app to sign
Yeah.
up, set schedules. We would have, and basically that would have meant we all had to split up, and
Yeah.
between panels and just wanting to enjoy the show floor together or like
Yeah.
So
individually.
we just watched other people play them.
Yeah, which
Just you a pretty good impression, actually.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
But yeah, I mean, if as far as Sony goes, well, I guess this was more at the Square Enix booth. I went and played the Final Fantasy 15 multiplayer
by
Though,
yourself.
Apparently, I played it by myself. Like I can see on the corner of the screen, it's like there's 3 people over here, but I'm like they didn't do anything or they didn't.
Wait, there's multiplayer?
Yeah, it's an addition to the
Just a new
game.
expansion that's coming out.
Is it free
it out yet?
DLC?
Yeah,
or is
I think
it-
it's free to the game.
Yeah.
Or is it season pass? Shit, I don't remember.
Hmm.
Either way, like
it's either really good or really bad.
I mean, so it sounds like there's just I mean, it's kind of neat that there's multiplayer, but the other hand, like there's only going to be like a few quests, and at least the one that I did was like a monster hunt one, which I was like, okay, go kill 18 gorillas, whatever.
Cool.
Yeah.
That sounds like tons of fun.
Yeah, I mean, I enjoyed FF15 despite its flaws, so I'm gonna give it a chance, but I'm not gonna really like. Unless it blows me away, I'll play it once or twice and then be like, okay, that was fun.
Yeah.
I'm done.
And unless you have someone to play it
Right.
with as well, I'm guessing.
Do you
Yeah.
have the season pass?
I do, yes. I
It's
still have to play episode Prompto. I did Gladiolus.
That's the shooter one.
I know.
That's the one that looks the coolest.
Yeah, I know. I just haven't gotten around to it. I got a bunch of other shit to play. But
any other big names that you played?
well, I didn't play. So this was outside. This was up in the PC area in the Indies, or not in really Indies, but Divinity Original Sin 2.
Yep.
So I kickstarted it. I have the early access to it. So I've played it at home. So I didn't bother playing it while I was there.
Mhm.
But I did watch some other people play it, and I know they're constantly churning out updates via Kickstarter and via email. And I know like they added a new undead race that's got some cool stuff you can do with it. So the game comes out September 14th, and I am going to be there day one.
Are you like booking a week off to play it?
I
or
would
what?
love to do that, but I unfortunately probably cannot. But I will be playing it as much as I can because I had so much fun with the first game. I played it through
Yeah.
probably 2 or 3 times.
He's still trying to convince us to play it and
Yes.
play it on a stream.
Yes.
Can we actually play 3-player? You talked about that.
So I said the first game does not support 4-player out of the box or
Yep.
up to 4 players out of the box, but there is a mod you can do where I would basically play like a third guy. I would not be able to interact with like people and stuff that
Yeah.
I would just kind of follow you guys around.
Perhaps this should be our first regular stream. We say, me and Elliot gonna beat
just the
Divinity
two of us
Original
on
Sin.
Divinity?
Well, we would beat it, but Josh would supplement us.
Like I said, I'd be like a third character, and then the 4th character would be an NPC AI.
I think we
guy.
should jump right into 2 because that's the new game.
Well, we can talk about this. Yeah, it's a good point.
I will
actually.
play either of them, but I will, regardless of which one we play, I will also be playing Divinity Original Sin 2. So I don't care. But just let me know. I'll be there.
Josh will play anything.
No, I loved the first game. I will play this forever. I played, like I said, I played a little bit of the early access stuff, and it's still a ton of fun.
Going off the big games, Steve-O, you and I played Rocket League for Nintendo Switch. The
Yeah.
new port.
That's a big game now.
Elliot was pretty happy. I was a little disappointed.
I liked it. It was they only had 3 because one of the switches broke. So it was Steve and I and a guy that was also standing there, and so it was 2-on-1.
Yep.
And I fucking killed him.
Yeah.
And I was the one on 2.
You were the one
Yeah.
on 2. Okay,
Oh, man.
let's break this down. By the way, okay, Elliot's team went 4-1 up.
When it was first it was you and me.
Steven
versus him.
scored 3 goals.
Did he?
He scored 3 goals.
How many were
Then
assisted?
Elliot scored 1 goal to make it 5-1.
I think
Then
I scored.
Steven scored 1 goal to make it 5-2. Who won the game, Elliot? Who won the game?
Once you switch teams to help out the other guy,
So
I scored 2 goals. against you two, and you scored 1 against me.
Okay, so then you scored 2 goals altogether.
3 goals then altogether. Because I scored at least 1 when you were on my team.
No, you didn't. I scored a hat trick.
You did?
Yeah, I did.
Congratulations.
Yes, I will congratulate myself at having beaten you.
So once you left my team is when I started performing.
But yeah.
So maybe you were holding me back.
I was holding you back by scoring a hat trick. That's beautiful. That's poetic, Ellie. Well done. I love that logic.
But why didn't you like it though?
So it felt like it dragged a little bit. Turning didn't seem as sharp as it does on PS4. I know they're still ironing out the kinks. It's not being
they're
released.
still balancing it.
Yeah,
but
it didn't feel the same to me. I don't mind that it was like the resolution was notched down a little bit. That kind of thing doesn't matter to me.
Yeah.
But if something feels like it's lagging, like it's dragging, I find that really difficult.
So yeah, we should point out that we played it on the handheld mode of the Switch, and the resolution was noticeably low. It was probably sub 720 because the native resolution of the Switch and handheld is 720, so I would guess 540 something. But it was pretty smooth frame rate wise. There was no hitches. I feel like it was 60 or close to it most of the time, which was.
You think it was 60? Anyway.
I don't know.
Let's not get into technicality. We don't know the answer, so it's not worth it.
We're both going to buy it anyway.
It was very stable.
Are we going to buy it though?
I'm not.
I'm going to buy it.
Actually,
I want PS4. I'm good.
Like when I go to my parents for Christmas for like 2 weeks.
Bring a PS4 and
bringing a PS4.
You're bringing a PS4. We need to play Rocket League against you
on Switch.
No, you can't even get it. It doesn't even have headsets. It doesn't even have chat.
We can use Google Hangouts. We do that half the time anyway on PS4.
Nope.
Yes.
I think Josh has deciding vote.
No, he doesn't.
We'll stick with PS4.
Then
that's what he said. I read his eyes.
Switch. Fuck you both.
So
those are the 2 biggest games I think that we had from big publishers.
We kind of just walked straight past all of Microsoft. We walked straight past all of Ubisoft. I think there was something about it that just none of the games really jumped out at me, you know, and those that might have, Cuphead or at Sega, there was a Sonic one that I was interested in checking out.
I am not interested in Sonic at all.
Well, just because the recent game got a bit of hype, I was like, oh, maybe it would be worth giving a go.
That wasn't even that game that people were lined up for.
I know.
Sonic Forces.
Sonic Forces, yeah.
But I thought just for the laugh, give it a go. But there was lines, and anything that potentially would have been good. The lines. And again, there was so many indies to choose from.
I mean, I watched some people play Cuphead, and Cuphead's been something I've been following forever because it's just the animation's amazing, and I mean, it looks like it'll be
it's like a platformer and a side-scrolling shooter at the same time.
Yeah, it's like originally it was like a boss rush thing, and then they added some like platforming levels and things like that, and so it just looks like it'll be a lot of fun, and just even if the gameplay is only okay, like if it only feels okay, it's just a joy to look at.
Yeah,
which is
it looks amazing. It sounds amazing.
So I mean, it's definitely something I'm looking forward to. Like I guess one last one before we kind of jump into the indies though is that Elliot and I
watched.
We watched some people play the remake of Secret of Mana.
Yeah.
And I mean, I'm definitely looking forward to it. The graphics are kind of
It looks fine.
It's good.
Yeah.
It's good enough.
It looks like the Adventure Mono. Like it has that aesthetic of like the super clean mobile, 3D mobile engine kind of thing.
Yeah, just kind of upscaled for like a PlayStation or whatever.
Isn't it more one that you would want to buy on Switch anyway? So like
yeah, but it's not.
It's not announced for Switch.
I know, but come on, it's inevitable.
It is on Vita though.
So. It is on Vita.
I'll just get it on Vita. I honestly, I'm just gonna play it on the Super Nintendo.
Exactly, and this is what I was kind of gonna get at.
Well, the thing is the Super Nintendo version is glitchy as hell. It is like it is.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, so like it's a game, one of those games where you have fun playing it, and I think a lot of it is nostalgia. But there are definitely some like quirks to the game, like collision detection, like hitting enemies when you think you're trying to hit the enemy, and just things like that. And I'm curious if if that stuff is gonna be fixed. I mean, I assume it would be in the newer version, which is kind of what I want to see with the newer one is if all those weird ass quirks and bullshit that you had to deal with the original game are gone, and you can kind of play the game in a more stable fashion.
Yeah,
it's not like the old one would crash so much as half the stuff you'd try and do would not work out with the expected result.
Mm-hmm.
That's kind of interesting because everyone talks about it as a classic. So I
It's
always
still a
assumed
good game. It's just you have to go into it knowing that there's this weirdness to it, if you will.
And probably a lot more enjoyable as a co-op experience in that way. You know, you tend to let things go a little better if two people are playing it,
right.
and if you're having a laugh during it and stuff, as opposed to sitting down and playing something yourself, you tend to take it a bit more seriously.
Yeah.
Any other big names?
So before we jump into like all the little indies we went and played, there's one I know Steve-O wants to talk about, and it's his favorite game of all time.
Heartbroken.
Yeah, are you?
Heartbroken. Yeah. Actually, I was thinking about leaving this till potentially our later segment. If we were to do like biggest disappointments, I guess we could do it now. Like, I absolutely adore Super Meat Boy. It is one of the best games ever. It's is it side scrolling? Do you call it side scrolling if it's not moving?
It's a platformer.
It's a platformer.
Side scrolling just means a 2D plane. Like you're looking at
it's an ultra fast action platformer.
Everyone's played it.
Everyone's played it. You don't need to hear about Super Meat Boy. But I love it so much. I originally played it on Steam, played the life out of it. But I actually bought it just before hopping on the flight to Seattle. I bought it on Vita because it was on sale for $4.50. And it was so much fun. I only played through the first world of it, the forest. But we went to PAX and there was a Super Meat Boy booth. Apparently, we were going to get to play the newly announced Super Meat Boy Forever. And I like stood in line. It was only a couple of people, so it wasn't too long. They seemed to be enjoying it though. The guys were taking a while to play.
And it looked great.
Yeah, and it looked beautiful, looked gorgeous, graphics popping.
The first thing I said was, "Is this an auto scroller?"
Did you say that?
Yeah, that's literally the first thing I said.
Wow.
And we were like, no.
So I didn't hear that conversation.
Yeah.
I finally got a controller and you two had wandered away and I couldn't understand what was going on. I was trying to press right and left and I was trying to give myself a run up to things, but it was like the controls weren't working.
Yeah.
And then I couldn't work out what was run and what was... So there's a run button as well as pressing left and right. You hold run in the original. So there was no run button or I couldn't work out. Basically, it's an infinite runner.
Yes.
Yeah.
The character constantly runs to the right and you just hit jump or you just hit punch or you just hit slide. And... I know these games are huge on mobile. Mario Run
Mario Run is
the big recent one.
Yeah, there's a Rayman one that I didn't mind, but it
was good.
It's still just not something I don't look forward to Infinite Runners.
It's not.
I played Super Mario Run and I'm like, okay, those first few levels were fine for a free game. I'm not paying $10 for this.
Guys, I look forward to the follow up to Super Meat Boy. I look forward to a true sequel, and I heard there was like punch mechanics and stuff, and I was like, oh wow, they're slide, punch, they're adding in new things. They're not. They've taken out what made this game.
Agency. They've taken out agency.
Yeah.
they've taken out true level design, having to know when to jump and when to duck. Come on. You can do better than that. You already did better than that. Anyway, biggest disappointment of the show. Let's move on because I can't take this.
So
is it out for mobile?
It's coming out on. Maybe they only announced it. No, I think they said Nintendo, Steam. So on the Switch, it is announced on Steam, isn't it?
I think so.
It's
PS4,
the consoles, Switch, Steam.
For me,
the trifecta.
For me, it could have just been released on Nintendo Switch and mobile.
Yeah.
And I don't need it anywhere else.
Yeah.
It's kind of, as you can tell, it's broken my heart.
But so moving on to something that's kind of somewhat similar in the sense that it's like a precise platformer. One of the indie games that I played, and it's made by Clay Entertainment, KLEI, the guys who made Don't Starve.
Actually, I was thinking about doing a bit of a bit.
Okay.
So, what about a bit of a rapid fire round? We get down through all of these other games that we played on the show floor. Could be a bit funny.
We've got a list of like at least 15 or 20.
There's a lot of games
here and like.
Well, I wasn't going to go like down.
So, does anyone have a perfect list, or should I just start calling things out?
These are the games I played, but I mean,
okay. Well, I think I've got all of those. Okay, so we're gonna start going down through this. I'll point at one of you, or if it's me, I'll point at me, and then give us a couple of lines. We might ask a question, and we'll, get to the heat of the story for each of these. Okay, Josh, first man up. Hot lava.
So hot lava is nice in the sense that it takes that childhood game, the floor is lava, and basically turns it into a game, which I appreciate when companies take the simplest premise and turn it into something fun.
Yep.
I enjoyed it.
But when you're talking about the childhood game, does everyone know this?
Yeah,
floor is lava.
Pretending the floor is lava.
You gotta climb around on the couch and the coffee table.
I love it. I do love the concept. I think it's great. And each of the levels started off, like you start off in your house as a child, and then you like go down into the basement and it opens up and you're grown up and you're climbing and stuff. It's brilliant.
I think there's some wonkiness with the jumping and stuff right now, but other than that idea, I really love the premise and I'm kind of curious to see how it turns out. But
Cool. Okay, next one up, it was midair.
Oh,
Elliot.
you're telling me what to talk about.
Yeah, you're talking about midair.
I didn't know that's what we're doing.
It's a quick fire round. Come on, Elliot.
Go.
So talk about midair. What did we do?
Midair was it reminded me immediately of Tribes.
Mhm.
Yeah.
We played it as a team.
Yeah, the three of us all got to sit down and play, and it was on PC, and right click jumps, and if you hold it down, you float with your jet. And
It's very strange to me.
It eventually runs out, and then once you're on the ground, it refills. And it was a capture the flag game, which goes exactly how capture the flag games go. It has that. The aesthetic is like dated a few years.
Yeah,
Like,
it does seem a little bit, doesn't
it
it?
almost looks like probably the last Tribes that came out.
Yeah.
It immediately reminded me of it, and it's been ages since I played Tribe, so I was fiddling for like the first 10 minutes trying to figure out how to actually do stuff.
Yeah.
So strange. The buttons that they had chosen to do different
Like
things.
reversing slide or skate and jump would have been perfect.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was fun. It was, but man, like I'm struggling to say something other than it was exactly like Tribes.
Yeah.
Like,
It was so first person shooter, skate mechanics, jet mechanics. I had no idea what I was doing because I've never played Tribes.
Yeah.
But we did okay.
Yeah,
I got a couple of
fun.
kills.
Yeah.
It was a fun thing to do
Yeah.
as a team on the show
enjoy it.
floor. I enjoyed it for that.
I think we lost flag wise, but I got the most kills, so that's all that matters. So
okay, what's next up here? Way of the Passive Fist. I'm going to throw this back to Josh. You played it longer than Elliot, right?
I think technically he played it longer. I got farther though.
I played
Josh is good at video games.
So Way of the Passive Fist is a really interesting concept. I'll just start by saying that because you don't have any. It's a Final Fight, Fatal Fury, like
Streets of Rage,
Streets of
man.
Rage,
Yeah.
like a beat 'em up type game.
So
but-
isometric beat 'em up.
side, no,
it's like
side scrolling.
It wasn't
It's isometric. You're walking on an isometric plane.
it wasn't
like Double Dragon. Anyway.
isometric.
Anyway, so but the thing is you have no offensive capability. So basically the entire game is you parrying, dodging, and dashing around, and your enemies lose stamina, and then once their stamina is gone, you basically tip them over, and that's how you defeat them.
But if you dodge or parry enough, you'll build up your own.
Yeah, and you get like a
energies,
super
yeah.
punch that you can use like every so often.
And
But
yeah, okay.
so it's basically like, Aikido the game. So it was neat, and I like the premise of it. I just don't know if I could play an entire game of me just like pressing the parry button.
It's a lot of
and over again.
If you miss the chain, like you have to chain them to chain enough parries together to use your super punch, and if you miss it, you start over. Or even if you change enemies, you keep it. Right?
Yeah.
Okay, so
And I mean, so it's all
But-
pattern recognition, but the thing is it's all defensive pattern recognition.
Yeah.
So you're basically just standing there and you're waiting for someone to come up to you and punch you so that you can press parry, or if they come up to you and throw a knife at you, you press dodge or whatever, and that throws the knife back at them. But you're just sitting there.
it's
such a not good idea.
It's such a great concept, and
I wonder, can you make a fun game
Yeah,
out of it?
yeah.
Like I
I'm
spoke
willing to give it
to
a chance.
I spoke to the guy who's doing the booth. I wonder, was it Jason Canham out of Household Games? I'm just looking at their Twitter here, and that's the first name I see.
Yeah.
Like, if he seemed like a really cool guy, and he was saying that it was a bit of a passion project for them because they're all big fans of one-on-one fighting games, a la Street Fighter or whatever. And they were explaining that most people don't understand the importance of blocking, parrying, and countering in those games. And I personally have never played any of those games and certainly didn't think that that's what they were about.
Yeah.
And what I was asking him was, could it possibly be that this game would be able to teach you a few things about like recognizing patterns when somebody's about to attack you, and you could then take that back to a Street Fighter? Or, you know,
I think it's like changing the way you think about how you approach a fighting game. Like,
again, brilliant concept. It'll be really interesting to find out whether it actually works.
That's the thing. Is like, how long are the legs? 'Cause it could be good, but it was
like we played for like 10 minutes, and I'm like, okay, I feel like I'm just pressing parry at the right time over and over again, or trying to at the right time over and over again, which is.
But there's a great foundation there.
Yes.
Yeah.
We'll see.
Okay, next one up, we got West of Loathing. Josh, this is straight back to you because I know you actually own this. Do you? It's already out?
Yeah, so West of Loathing's already out. It's
Is it early access or
no,
out?
it's an actual game now. I mean,
cool.
it's a Western style RPG. Sorry, it's more like weird Western or like goofy Western. It's
stick figures.
Everything's like stick figures. The entire game is like basically black and white. It's just goofy as hell. I mean, so at the very beginning, you pick a class. Usually, it's like a poisoner, or a gunner, or a brawler, something along those lines. And you're basically going out west to make your fortune. And it's very simplistic combat.
So it's an RPG.
Yeah, it's an RPG. It's a turn-based
RPG.
And
no way.
Yeah. So the comedy is like, it's really on point. It's just some of it's just so stupid, but like stupid in the best way.
Was the developer there? Did you get to chat to him?
No, I didn't get to talk to the guys at Asymmetric Games because again, it was something I've already played, so I didn't really sit down and go. Yeah. But like, just at the very beginning, for instance, of the game, you can open up a book that's like stupid walks. And you could it's a perk you get, and so now whenever your character walks around, they do something stupid, like they'll do the worm to walk, or they'll like dance like they're an idiot, and just it's the humor is really good.
Yeah,
there's a running gag about like reaching into a spittoon. At every bar you find about, and it's just like, but the thing is, it's not just like, ew, this spittoon is gross, don't do that. It's like paragraphs upon paragraphs about like describing the spittoon and why you shouldn't do this. And it's just it's a funny game. I'm not terribly far. I've gotten to like the second town. I've done a bunch of the quests around that area, but it's a lot of fun. I like it.
There's a recent Idle Thumbs episode, if you guys listen to it, where they talk about West of Loathing, and they're saying that the animations are all hand drawn on like printer paper and scanned in, like every
that
single
is so
frame.
cool.
Yeah, it's really interesting.
Oh, ridiculous brilliance.
Yeah.
Okay, next one up is game called Coffins. Okay, I'm gonna take this one.
Go ahead.
It's basically a one-on-one 2D fighter game about guys drinking coffee, guys holding coffee.
You fight with your coffee.
You fight while holding coffee mugs.
So you're holding coffee mugs. You can either like bump your coffee mug against the other person, or you can like kind of string it out on some kind of string,
think
some
like
kind of bungee rope, a yo-yo
yeah.
or something, and it comes back to you. And the idea is that you have to knock the other person's cup so their coffee falls out, and you have a certain amount of coffee in your cup. If you knock the other person's coffee out, then they can try and catch it, or you can try and catch theirs, which adds to yours. It's got some really interesting concepts, and it really kind of flips the scripts on one-on-one fighting games in general.
And I mean, I would say it's the best coffee-based fighting game I've ever played.
It's up there. No, it was fun, but again, it's one of these. Does it have staying power? Who's going to buy this? Who's going to play this?
I can recognize the creativity, and I can definitely appreciate it. But it's one of those things where, like, it feels like I'm playing a mini game in a larger group of games, rather than like, I'm going to go pay money for this one thing. But it's interesting, and I love like
the
it.
concept. Like,
it's just so freaking weird, which is great.
Also, there was a character that may have looked a little like me.
That
was a gorgeous ginger beard, lads.
Was that Sweet Bandits that did that one?
Might have been, yeah.
I think it was.
Again, really, really cool devs. We had a good chat with them while playing it. It was good times. That was another one. Again, crazy concept for a game, but really fun one to play on the floor. It was really good.
Yeah.
Another fun one that we played as a group, maybe against each other, was Inversus. Elliot, do you want to take it away?
Inversus, yeah. It was. Gosh, how do you describe it? It was basically like
Othello meets shooter type thing. That's what I would say.
Played Othello, but
reversey.
Yeah, I mean, so basically, you're on it's like a checkerboard.
Yep.
And it's you against
It's a 2-on-2, isn't it?
Yeah.
You
You
look
could
kind of
probably
like a
do one-on-one,
square.
Yeah.
but it's
Oh, yeah?
it's 2 teams basically, and you're this little like circular thing on this,
A grid of
Checkboard.
squares. Yeah.
and basically you're one color and the other guy's the inverse color, and you can only maneuver on checkerboards that are
Your color.
tiles
Yeah.
that are your opposite color.
color.
Oh,
So if you're
opposite
if you're
Yeah,
black, you can only
opposite
move on
color.
the white tiles. If you're white, you can only move on the black tiles.
So then when you shoot
And
a
when
black...
you shoot a laser,
Yeah.
it's black and it turns everything white so that
Yeah.
you can move across it.
Yeah,
Okay.
and you can
And
also
then-
block the enemy then.
And they do the same thing, and you have a limited number of shots. You have like 5 or 6 shots for the whole round.
No,
So
no,
you have
they recharge.
No, you have to
They
wait
recharge
for
over
them to
time.
reload.
Do they recharge?
They
They
recharge
reload
over
really
time.
slowly though, so you have to be
okay.
kind of smart about
That's
how
what it
often
is.
you shoot and in what directions and where you move before.
So you're
you
basically
shoot.
trying to like box the other player in, and
And
way
then
you
kill
can
them.
hit them with a shot
Yeah.
more easily.
So yeah,
Oh.
you can land an like fluke shot by
Yeah.
firing it at a long distance, and if they happen to run into it.
Yeah.
But in general, well, myself and Josh were thinking like if you try to surround the people and hit them from 2 sides, like down and across,
Yeah.
it's kind of the best way.
Oh, yeah, and the shots just keep scrolling across the screen.
Depends on the map,
And-
but yes.
Okay.
Basically,
It's just like it'll go to the right and
Yeah.
loop, wrap back around.
this
and
is
it'll-
a really
infinitely.
good one to describe in a podcast. Isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's really
But
hard to
it was
describe.
such a fun game to play on
It
the
is-
show floor again.
We
It was
played
great.
it on the Switch, and it was
Yeah.
really fun.
Yeah,
it was
it-
the 2 of us versus 2 other like
Yeah.
just random people that were there, and
Yeah.
Man, but
I really enjoyed
we
it.
destroyed you guys, but it's fine. Yes.
Yeah. Defiance,
But it was-
I guess both of you can talk about.
yeah, we played.
Do you want to, or
So Defiance was actually released like 2007 or 2009 or something like that,
Yeah,
to tie in with that Sci-Fi Channel TV show, and it's
Yeah.
like a shooter MMO.
yeah.
it's funny that it was there. It was so strange.
Well, then
like-
the guy was like, "It's the only shooter MMO." I'm like, "I just played Destiny."
Destiny. yeah.
And so it's
Yeah, I was asking him what set it apart, and he was like, "Well, it's a shooter, and most MMOs aren't a shooter." I was
And
like,
most shooters
I was
aren't
like,
MMOs.
okay,
But- yeah. So we've got stuck in like I mean, I joined late compared to some other players that were playing, but and then we get stuck in like fighting a raid boss that normally takes like 25 people. And
Yeah,
there's like,
so there's four
there's
of us
four
in
of
there.
us.
It's like, you guys are probably not going to finish this.
it was
Good
a
luck.
little sad, to be honest, guys.
wasn't-
I felt bad for you,
I mean, I see like the numbers like ticking off the enemy, kind of like Borderlands, and
Yeah.
and I'm just like,
That's that part.
but he's
was
still at
satisfying.
80% health, and
Yeah.
like you're counting down to a minute and a half.
but yeah, I don't know. It wasn't a good impression of the game, and there wasn't really anything that actually made me want to go out and try it even further. But it's
Yeah.
just
Yeah.
I'm not sure
I
what
don't
was there. What
Okay.
was doing there,
they had
but-
some other games, but I didn't get a chance to look at what they had.
Yep. Next one up that I've got is Slime San.
Yes.
So
you
Slime
go.
San, actually having been so heartbroken by Super Meat Boy,
New
Slime
Meat Boy.
San gave me a little feel of Meat Boy. Actually,
Yeah.
you know, it had similar mechanics in the. So again, it's 2D platformer. You slide down walls and you can jump over things. There's lots of projectiles being fired across from left to right or right to left, and I'm sure there's going to be like razor blades and stuff spinning that you would have to jump past. And the interesting mechanic was that it worked on like a color scheme, 2 different colors,
Yeah.
green and pink.
Yeah.
Everything green is good. You can stand on green platforms. Everything red is bad. If you touch a red platform or a red wall, you lose or you die instantly. Actually, but it also had this interesting mechanic because you're this kind of slime ball. You could hold a button to slip through a green platform or to jump through a green object, and it was
like Ikaruga meets Super Meat Boy.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
exactly what I was going to say.
So it was fun. It was, it wasn't amazing, but it's the kind of thing that you could pick up for a couple of bucks on a sale, and it would, I'm sure it would entertain you for a few hours anyway. It might be a fun one to pass a controller with someone,
Yeah. I enjoyed it a lot. And yeah, for all the same reasons you just said, it's like Super Meat Boy with that extra dimension of Ikaruga, like that extra strategy, that extra like.
It's also missing a few things of
Sure,
Super Meat Boy,
sure.
but
But it's that like as soon as you die, you instantly respawn.
yeah,
and you keep
always,
going and going.
always a
It's
good,
It's really good.
always a good mechanic.
Also played that one on Switch as well.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, lots of Switch games, and they looked and performed pretty well.
Yeah, next one up. Josh, take this one. Chronicles of Illyria.
Yeah.
There's an interesting demo.
Yeah, so Chronicles of Valyria it looks like they're trying to make a full-fledged MMO, and the company was...
I thought you were going to say, it looks like they're making a full-fledged jousting sim.
game.
And the two of us played jousting for a good half hour.
But the thing is, like, they're looking to make...
Soulbound.
Soulbound made the game, but they're looking to make an entire MMO, but the demo they had set aside for us... What?
Soulbound or Soulbond? Sorry.
Okay,
my handwriting is horrible.
But so the demo they had set up, though, was one-on-one jousting, which was... interesting. Because it's third person, like the camera angle is very weird. Like if you for like the first like 4 rounds, Steve and I are just running past each other because we're not understanding how close we actually or the angle we actually have to point our lance. And so finally we figure it out, and I win. And the
finally we figured it out, and I win.
Yeah, but then
we got it, guys. We figured it out.
Exactly. That's Josh, winner.
Exactly. But then I don't know if he was one of the developers or what.
Yeah.
Was he? He's like, all right, I'm going to come in here and I'm going to play the winner. And we're like, I'm going to lose, aren't I? It was like, yeah.
But it was entertaining.
It was actually, I actually came
you
close.
held your own, dude. I was
it was down to the last joust between you guys.
He finally knocked me off in the last one. I was
boom.
like, damn it.
Nice
and then after that, he laid the bombshell. It was like, oh, by the way, this isn't a jousting sim. It's an MMO. We were like, oh, and then we ran away because none of us is ever going to play an MMO.
We were tricked.
Except Josh is going to play Destiny.
I am not playing Destiny. Only if you guys play it. And since I know that won't happen, fuck it.
Yeah, we'll pretend to play it and get you to buy it and then never play it.
No.
So what other games do we have here?
So we had there was the game that was kind of like Towerfall.
Oh, yes.
Mystic Melee, which
was fun.
It was kind of like a mix of Towerfall and Smash Brothers.
Yeah, it was a little strange being able to it played like Towerfall, but you were able to hit people multiple times.
Yeah, so you didn't have it wasn't one shot kill like Towerfall.
Yeah.
It was more like everybody had a set number of HP.
Yeah.
And I think depending on the character, you either had more or less HP or you did different attacks. Like I think someone had a gun while I had a scythe.
Yeah. So it was like 4 people on the screen.
Yeah.
All of us holding controllers, and you basically on a 2D plane jumping around trying to shoot people with some kind of it almost like a water gun or something.
So everybody had like their own major weapon. I mean, I think there was some like jumping. Like I knew I had a jumping skill where if I like jumped and attacked downwards, I could land on someone's head and hurt them. But then there were also like spells that would show up on the field. Yeah. And you could pick those up and use them against everybody else, which is kind of like I said, the Smash Brothers thing comes in. You know, like instead of like a Pokeball showing up, rather, you have like a boulder spell or whatever.
Yeah.
And there were hazards on the field that you could throw enemies into and stuff. But yeah, it was fun. I mean, it gave me serious Towerfall vibes, and I love Towerfall. Yeah. So
What was the big takeaway from
it? Josh won again.
What was your big takeaway on it?
I mean, you guys pretty much covered it. It's Towerfall, which I absolutely love.
Yeah.
And the best stuff that Towerfall does is because of the one-hit kills. And
yeah, that's exactly it. My thing is, it didn't have one-hit kills. That's what makes Towerfall amazing.
Not even just that, but the environment changes. Like the walls close in, or like the water rises.
That's a good point. We kind of were hanging
but instead of the walls closing in, they had stuff like spikes and the gears that were spinning, and there was that one level that was like dropping bombs or canisters or something in the middle of the room.
Yeah, but it's a bit different where you can just stand on the side and avoid the other person, because that happened in one of the rounds with the couple.
Well, yeah, but eventually you got to kill each other.
Well, you do, but in Towerfall they've created mechanics. Again, is this still in development or is it released?
I don't think it's out yet, but I mean,
so I'm sure they could tweak it. They could still potentially make it as fun as Towerfall. But
I still think it was fun. It was different enough that it doesn't have to be Towerfall, completely.
I just don't think. Yeah, I don't think I understood it totally. Like I feel like I was mostly button mashing.
I felt like that as well.
Something would happen.
Dodging past and shooting back in the other direction. Dodging and then shooting back in the other direction.
I feel like I could really enjoy it if I knew what I was doing.
Yeah. Well, hopefully it comes out and it's good.
Yeah.
What else do we have? Okay, at the
similarly in the sense that it's a 4-player like Rumble,
and we were kind of looking for a few of these as well, games that we could all play together, and was at the Double Fine booth. We played a little bit of Gang Beasts, which I have watched on some kind of co-op stream. I can't remember.
I hadn't heard about this.
I'd never
thing.
heard of it either.
So I thought I had mentioned this to you a few times, and I kept saying I really want to buy this game, but I'm a cheap bastard, so I didn't want to pay $20 for it.
Yeah.
But I think next time, well, when are we all going to be playing co-op together? Next, who knows?
If it's online, well, I mean, we could do it. But,
Good point. It's a fun one. It's really like kind of wacky dynamics. It's 3D and you're each controlling a different character and you're kind of trying to grab on or push the other people into like pits or off. Like in one of the levels, you're traveling on a bus you're standing on the top of a bus and you're trying to push each other off. It's really wacky and you're basically inflatable arm men characters. It's
like I just remember I would just basically punch someone like crazy until they felt they passed out, and then I would grab them and then try and drag them off a ledge.
You see, that sounds really grim, and it's not grim at all because it's so cartoonish and everyone's just big balloon animals basically.
We all look like zombie Ricks from Rick and Morty, so I mean it's at least the game we played
with no facial features.
Yeah,
so not that worrying.
It didn't really do anything for me. I was not.
No, you didn't get into it.
I just felt like I was mashing buttons. Like everything was really sluggish.
Yeah, the slowness of it was what stood out to me.
And I guess that's probably baked into the design. They're doing that for a reason because you're just like these idiots just mashing into each other. But I don't know. I was like, okay, so then you knock each other off and then you're dead. And then you play like there's no special abilities.
Yeah, you're real and there's no like real it's more about the fun that you have and the jokes that you make while you're doing this stupid goofy party game basically.
Yeah.
You know, as opposed to there being any like real genius to it or any real
But I could
payoff.
laugh at you while shooting you with an arrow in Towerfall. Or jumping on your head.
True. And you could say that there's
so
more
good.
skill to that. And you could say that there's more payoff because when you see those kills ticking up and you get a win in Towerfall, it's the greatest thing ever.
So
As opposed to Gang Beasts where it's like, oh, that's over. Yeah, I kind of wish there was a bit more, you know.
I mean, maybe there's more to it that we just didn't see. But other than that, I mean, I might want to, but we'll see.
The other one that myself and Ellie played, I don't think you played this one, Josh, was... another Smash Brothers clone. It was called Rivals of Ether. And I guess Ellie, you're gonna have to tell us more about it because I don't have that much Smash experience, and I was pretty crap at this.
Yeah, this is a lot more like Smash than Mystic Melee was, where it was.
Was this the one that we all played together the first night? What was that?
There was one that we played. Did you play it with us?
I don't think.
Yeah, because we played with us three, and then the fourth guy that showed up and kicked all our asses.
He was standing to the left. That's right, because he actually. Yeah, do you not remember? He told us that I had no idea how Smash worked, and he was like,
me neither.
As you get hit, you fly further to the side of the screen, and I was like, oh, that makes sense. That's how the mechanics work.
Yeah.
So you were playing.
Yeah, I was there. Yeah.
Okay. How did you do in it?
I came in second, and he whooped our ass. Other than that,
it's literally 2D Smash. Weapon drops down out of the sky, you pick it up and you can use it between guns or bombs or lasers or whatever it is.
Do you think a game like that has staying power these days? Could you ever see you convincing us to pick it up and play?
I mean, so Smash is only on Nintendo consoles, so if you don't have a Switch or something, then maybe, yes.
But if you've never been a Smash fan, are you going to jump in 2017 and decide that we're going to play this?
I mean, it's still a fun formula.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just a matter of...
It's a 4-player fighting game. Right?
Yeah.
But again, guys, we're comparing this to Towerfall. You know?
But it's different. It's different.
It's different from Towerfall, and... Because Towerfall has like levels and platforms you can jump. Actually, so does Smash.
The thing with Smash is that it's all based on risk.
Mm-hmm.
You know, as you keep getting hit, the chance of a successive hit knocking you the fuck off the platform. Rises.
Mm-hmm.
And it's the same way with this game. What's the name of it again?
But then, what's the counter to that? What is the tactic? This is what I didn't understand. That guy said that to me, and I was like, "Oh, that makes sense." But then I was like, "Well, do I just avoid everyone? Do I just hide?"
You're trying to do damage because you want to raise the risk of everybody else. You want their percentage to go up.
I understand that I'm trying to hit people, but what I'm saying is, how do I hit people without getting close and putting myself at risk?
I mean, there's different players have different things. Like, I think one of you had a gun,
and so
in the game.
If
there was guns?
your percent is really high, then you're just gonna be more defensive. You're
Yes.
not going to like
Okay.
take as many risks, basically.
So you're basically waiting for people to walk towards you or jump towards you.
Yeah, but if your percentage is low, then you can go in and try to knock people off with high
Yes.
percentages.
Yeah.
Because you know, if you have multiple lives, you know, when you come back from death, you know, you lose a life and you come back, you're back at 0%.
Oh, you're strong again.
You're
I
back at 0%,
see, I
and
see.
so now is your chance to go take out that guy that's like at 100% or whatever.
Oh, okay.
And that's when you. So
Okay.
it's a balancing act with your risk versus your opponents and
Yeah.
trying to survive. So it's a different way of playing with like as opposed to like Towerfall where you get hit once you're dead. You know, so
Yeah.
it's just different.
Wow, I really actually learned stuff about Smash Brothers
Oh, man.
over this weekend.
So.
And you didn't like it the first time you played it. That's why.
No, yeah, it was because I
just didn't get
totally
it.
didn't
Okay.
understand. It was like a different language. It was like you were all speaking German or something. And let's talk about some general stuff about PAX.
Yeah.
Guys, first ever convention, and I thought it was fantastic. I really, really enjoyed it. Like just seeing all the people in cosplay. Like I'm sure there wasn't as much as there potentially would have been at like Comic-Con or something,
Right.
you know.
But still,
But still, there was some
so
amazing
good.
cosplay. What was the guy that I didn't recognize that looked like a total nutter?
The
You said it
nutters?
was from Silent Hill.
Oh, Pyramid Head.
Pyramid Head.
Pyramid Head.
Yeah, the guy was
Yeah,
dressed
yeah.
up Pyramid Head.
I tweeted it and Instagrammed it, and
Yeah.
because that's my nightmare. So
Some of the Final Fantasy ones were amazing. I didn't
Yeah.
necessarily recognize any of them.
Sephiroth.
I saw a
Squall.
Cloud, a Squall, a Renoa at one point.
I didn't see Renault. I saw Sephiroth.
Definitely
Squall.
Cloud. I noticed a lot of Overwatch. There was
Yeah.
just the ones
There's
that
like
we saw.
8 divas I saw.
With that
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
bodysuit.
Yes.
Yeah.
There was at the Gearbox. There was loads of people who were well decked out in their Borderlands
Yep.
stuff. That was
Yeah.
really cool. There
There's
was
even the Player Unknowns.
oh
cosplayer
yeah.
at the
Even-
3.1.
Even better than that was somebody dressed up as what do you call him, Dr. Disrespect.
There are a couple of them.
Oh, the greatest thing was so we'd been walking around the show floor and we'd seen that people were playing Battlegrounds. Like there was some streamers playing Battlegrounds in the middle, like with big screens up and had big amazing looking desks and stuff. And Dr. Disrespect was there, who I only know because he was like in the GameSpot news and stuff recently for getting banned because he shot someone on his own team while he was streaming.
Yeah.
And it was a really funny story. It was like, this guy's kind of ridiculous but funny. And he was sitting playing Battlegrounds, and then later on Josh had like pointed to someone on the escalator.
We were coming up the escalator, and I pointed, and I was like,
and I was like, oh, that's Dr. Disrespect. And I was like, he's got the headset on, he's got the stupid wig and the glasses and stuff. And I was like, he's about 4 foot tall. Like, how is he like that ridiculous?
Yeah.
And he's like completely bravado and stupid. And it's like,
and I
that,
had no idea why Steve was laughing about this.
but I thought it was so awesome. I'm like, this guy is so cool. He's come up with this amazing persona, and like he's so brash and like terrible, and like he's this like short normal dude.
I mean,
And it's like
he's good at the game, but he's annoying.
and like so we walk 10 yards into the expo, and we walk past where Player Unknown's been played as well, and I look there and it's like Dr. Disrespect is there as well, and he actually gets out of the booth and he stands up, and he's like 6'4". He's a big dude. He's a big guy, you know.
And Steve failed to notice that it wasn't just one person. There were 2 people on the escalator that were cosplaying as that guy. And so
I was so convinced that this was just like some 15-year-old kid who had come up with the greatest persona, like the greatest streaming Player Unknown's persona ever, and cracked me up.
So who is this guy? Is he a
he's
streamer?
I think he does other stuff like maybe CS:GO or something. I don't know. But he
He's-
just plays
he
Player
streams.
Unknowns. He
He's
streams.
a
Wow, never-
professional streamer.
He
Was he
dr-
the guy with the handlebars? That we
Yeah, he's got the
saw?
Yes.
mustache and,
Okay.
and the mullet and the
Okay.
70s porno look
He's
about him.
completely ridiculous, and
I mean, he's like I'll watch him because like he's actually pretty decent at the game, but yeah, he's annoying as hell.
Wow,
So it's just
man, people were cosplaying
As a
streamer.
I know that's
Holy
kind of what the story
shit.
comes
yes,
back
we have
to as
gone
well.
down. We have gone through
That's
the looking
way
glass.
too meta.
Yeah.
Way too meta.
Amazing. But the cosplay like was so
So-
much fun, and it was
the
so
Samus one. Oh, man.
Oh,
It
wow.
was like
yeah,
Oh,
that's
yeah.
totally decked out. Looked like real fucking like the Varia suit.
Yeah.
And
yeah.
it was great.
Epic. Somebody like the amount of effort and creativity that goes into these cosplays is just it's mind blowing. I was
Yeah.
really impressed with it, and it was something that why would I ever seen this without going to a convention? It was brilliant.
Yeah. Subscribe to our like Instagram and our Twitters because I think it's just Rather Be Playing as our Instagram. I put up pictures of all the cool cosplays.
Yeah, and the
that-
Twitter's at RBPcast, and we posted a load of just fun cosplay, and as well some of the booths. So again, I've never been to a convention. Walking in there, at first it didn't really hit me. At first, I was on the Saturday when we went in the morning. We were trying to get stuff done, and we were like, "Oh, we got to go look at this game, or we got to go look at this section," and things kind of passed me by. But having found our feet and kind of got used to the vibe, and when we came back on the Sunday, I was kind of taking a moment and just like trying to take everything in.
Yeah.
And the booths are amazing.
Yeah.
Like the Devolver booth, the Ruiner setup was just lights and darkness and just like it looked dangerous, and the game looked pretty amazing. I'm sorry we didn't get a go at that one.
I know.
That kind of disappointed me. Hot Lava looked epic. It was all oranges and just like
The
actual booth itself.
Wolfenstein 2, I was gonna say.
Oh, it was
diner.
amazing.
It was the diner from the trailer and from like the first game, and it was
The 50s diner. It
Yeah.
just looked it looked so good.
it looked amazing.
Not to mention the giant dinosaurs first off, I don't know.
shit!
People
the
actually still playing
dinosaurs.
Ark apparently, but there was a giant dinosaur in a raft.
Oh,
over
yeah.
there, and
There's one for Monster Hunter.
Oh yeah, Monster
World.
Hunter World.
Oh, there was a
there's one
dragon.
too.
Oh,
Yeah.
wasn't that a dragon?
It was
Yeah,
just
something like that, yeah.
Gigantic beast, and people were like climbing up ladders to ride
get a
them,
photo
and
taken,
take
right?
pictures with them. It was really cool.
Oh, what was the other one that I really, really enjoyed? Must have been somewhere near Devolve. Oh, it was the Party Hard.
Yeah.
Party Hard 2 was there, and they had a little DJ mixing table set up.
Yeah.
And it was all like big bright square buttons and like ridiculous
the shiny things that people liked.
but it was just all noise and lights, and it was just brilliant. Like
Yeah.
I don't know who designs these things, but I just seriously wanted to buy so many people pints.
Yeah.
And it's just like whoever came up with this, whoever built this thing just deserves a pint.
You're throwing it up in a few hours and tearing it down.
I
Yeah.
know.
It's just crazy to think about the amount of effort and work and how many people it took to just put this up for just a couple days.
Yeah, and I hope it drew attention, and I hope it pays back.
We appreciated it.
So, on the whole, like, what did you take away from PAX West? Like, Ellie, okay, you've been to a convention before as a seasoned pro. Like, what did you take away from it?
The first, and I mentioned this earlier, but my biggest takeaway, because I haven't been to one in 10 years. My last one was E3 10 years ago. And the biggest improvement that I noticed immediately was they got rid of the booth babes, which were so...
It's a long time now, though. I
they're
remember
everywhere.
when that was in the news.
Yeah.
That was 5 years ago more, was it?
It's crazy that it took so long to stop using human beings as fucking decoration.
I know. It's kind of messed up.
And there was almost, actually, I think zero of it other than like cosplayers and stuff like that.
Yep.
Like, people dressed up however they choose to dress up, and that's totally great. It
Fan
was
servicey thing, you mean?
Yeah, it was nothing official, no officially hired models there that I can see.
That must have been really weird. So at E3 when you were there, it was basically every booth, every major publisher would have had,
I would say,
like booth babes as they're called.
Yeah.
Like,
if there was one that didn't have any, I didn't notice. It was just they were just there. It was just part of the scenery. It was it was just how they did things, and
it's a little different then.
it's a lot different, and it's so much better. The focus is so much better.
It's on the games and on the devs
you're
as
not
well.
uncomfortable. You're not. It was what it should have been, and that was awesome.
Sweet.
The focus on VR also. There was so much VR there. There's PSVR. I saw Rifts. I saw Vives. We didn't actually try any of them. Any of us, I don't think we did. We sat and watched like Ship It for a little bit, which looked like a bit of fun.
Looked fun. It was little simple VR Tetris kind of puzzle, and
So yeah, the Gladiator VR game.
There was a 6 or 7 year old
No,
kid.
he was
or-
like 10, but yeah.
Oh
Okay.
my god, yeah.
So we
Holy
were
shit.
so they had like a cage set up, like a cage match type thing, and Go
Sorry,
ahead.
I had an amazing I can take you through.
okay, go ahead.
The first thing I saw, we're rounding this corner and there's this big screen of clearly a first person VR game, and you just see this thing holding like hatchets and machetes.
Big,
just
monstrous, giant, like bulging muscles,
Yeah, yeah.
horrible
Shields and
ogre
all that,
face.
And it was just the way it was angled, where the TV was like sticking further out from the wall that we were rounding. And so we just saw this thing just hacking parts off of human beings and blood spraying everywhere. It was one, you get to sensitize that kind of thing. And the graphics were cartoonish, which separates that even further. But even then, your jaw dropped. And I was just like, what is this?
I thought it was like going to be two people fighting each other as well. I assumed that whatever the person whose view we were seeing was looking at, that there was an
Someone
opposite
else
person
getting,
controlling that
hacked up.
person and looking at the other thing.
So it was really grotesque, like unnecessarily violent, I thought. And then as we rounded the corner, you kind of start to see a cage. So you're like, oh, someone's in there playing a VR game.
Yeah,
and it's in full. Once we get into full view, it's this little kid who could have been older than 8 or 9 years old.
I thought
maybe 10 at most.
maybe Josh is right. Maybe he was 10 or 11.
10.
But he
Just like-
still was.
and he was
Not
just
at the level where you're like,
Yeah.
R-rated movies or mature games and all that
It
stuff.
was hilarious. It was the last thing I expected to see.
Yeah,
And
I
he was just,
totally agree.
hacking away
He was
and then
having the time of
throwing his
life.
arms
Yeah.
up when he won. Like, I was like, where's this kid's parents? Oh my gosh.
I have no idea. I was expecting we would get around there and it would be some giant burly man with a big beard like doing this, and that there would be someone else fighting against him.
Yeah.
No, it was just a kid
It was this
getting
little
some healthy video game time.
That was amazing. Yeah, that was
So
the moment of the
so
show.
VR was good.
VR was fun. Yeah, I wish we would have tried it, but they were all long lines, and I didn't.
or at the Sony booth, you would have had to book them.
You
I
had to
think
do all this stuff
some of
in
them you
advance.
would have had to book them on
Yeah.
apps.
So, that was my big takeaway. Is like VR kind of started coming around with the Rift several years ago, and we're at the point now that back when that first started, I thought it would have died down further, but it seems to just keep ramping up,
Yeah.
which is very interesting.
Anything that disappointed you? Was there anything that didn't live up to expectations?
I mean, you mentioned Meat Boy, which I don't disagree with. I don't mind the Infinite Runner so much, so I'd give it a shot. But all in all, there was nothing really that made me say, "Oh man, I was hoping this would be better."
That's
My
good.
only disappointments were maybe games that didn't show up or games that I didn't get to
Yeah,
play. that I hoped
you
to.
were looking to play one at THQ today, weren't you?
I was hoping they.
The most
You were looking
recent
for
Darksiders.
Yeah,
isn't it?
they have a new Darksiders
Yeah, it's
coming
funny
out. I was
that-
hoping that there would be something there.
Would have thought that was on the horizon. Yeah.
And like the lines for Mario Odyssey and Samus Returns, like I didn't think we'd actually get to, but it would have been nice.
Yeah.
But I would say all in all, it's hard for me to find something to complain about. It was an all around really entertaining. Learned a lot, had a lot of fun, met a lot of people, talked to a lot of people.
Yeah, it was so much fun.
Got to pimp the podcast a little bit with our nice shirts and our business cards that we brought along. The best thing that I saw there, I don't know.
Me.
Maybe you'll have to come back to me on that, because the indie showcase all around was great, and just seeing the support that they were getting from the show.
Yeah, it was
fucking
epic.
great. Like, it's so easy to give it to the people with the most money. It's so easy, and
Yep.
they did have huge setups on their own floor, but
Mhm.
the amount of attention that the indies got as well was
Yeah,
there's so many games that I would probably never have heard of that are now on my Steam wish list. So
Yeah,
it's
brilliant.
really cool.
brilliant.
Yeah.
What about you, Josh?
Well, God damn it, he just took what I was going to say.
I said everything.
So I was going to say the biggest thing about the show that I really liked was that just were the indies. I mean, I may not have liked all of them, or they might be in genres that I don't necessarily care about.
Yeah.
But I like seeing them and seeing what people can come up with. And I know we've got AAA developers that are there pumping out stuff, but it's just nice to see the little guy actually come out and every now and again strike gold. If you will.
Yeah.
That was definitely the biggest point of the show for me. Probably biggest disappointment, and I think I've already kind of made this clear, was that I wasted an hour and a half at the Gearbox conference. It was
That's so funny because you were the one who wanted to go.
I did.
Like, you were the one.
That's why I'm disappointed.
That's
why I'm disappointed because I'm the one that wanted to go.
I guess you were looking for Borderlands 3.
I was looking for Borderlands 3, but
substantial.
even if it wasn't Borderlands 3, and I mean they said relatively soon into the show that they didn't have anything on Borderlands 3, and I was like, okay, fine. Maybe they'll show something else that's
a new IP, something to wow you.
And there was nothing. So it was just a waste of my time. So sorry, Randy.
And general takeaway, though?
Sorry.
I mean, I'm glad most people that I came across wore deodorant. I don't see ever doing this for more than like 2 days. I enjoyed my time. I liked being able to see all the stuff that's coming out. I think there's a good wide variety of like panels and games and companies and stuff that you can go do. I mean, I appreciate tabletop games and stuff. I'm not really into them as much as I would like to be, I think.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Would it ever be anything that maybe you and Lily could do, or you're not that fussed on it in general?
I mean,
stick to video games.
Most of the board games like Lily and I play are like the most intricate ones we play are like Splendor, Machi Koro, Ticket to Ride, and Catan. You know, nothing that's like the level of like Dominion or Agricola. You know, stuff that's really in depth.
Sure.
So, and I mean, so it's stuff I am kind of interested in. I just need to find like a group of people to do it with and stuff. So, But it was fun. I would do it again next year. Just
and thanks, Steve-O, for coming, and thanks, Elliot, for coming, and thanks for coming to PAX West. Thanks for coming all the way to Seattle to see me and to go to PAX West with me.
I would have gone without you guys.
Screw you guys. I'm going home.
Thanks, Josh, for hosting me. Thanks, Josh, for taking me around Seattle.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Bring you for dinner. Buy you a couple of pints.
Yeah.
It'll have to be done.
It is going to be a late dinner. But
yes, that's true.
But how about you?
It was good having you guys.
What was your takeaway, Steve-O?
Well, for me, just mind blowing. Absolutely adored it. As I say, I feel like this is something that I could only have done because I've moved to America and because I've met people who are like into video games and who enjoy this stuff and who like want to do something like this. And because Josh moved out here, this was a perfect reason for us to come out. You know, it's like a perfect storm. And it definitely lived up to expectations. You say you would only want to do it for a couple of days. I totally agree with that about the show floor.
Yeah.
You know, I would only do that a couple of days. But in terms of the panels,
well, okay.
Some of the things that I saw on Friday, I was kind of like bit of a gut punch. I was kind of like, oh, I'm sorry, I'm going to miss those.
Well, yeah, but I mean, it's still more of a like, I mean, the panels are definitely things that, because they schedule them depending on what day they're actually happening on. But then, I don't want to go back to the show floor again for like a third day or a fourth day.
But you don't have to. You don't have to feel compelled.
Well, right, but you pay money for a day at a time. That's what I'm saying.
Yep.
I feel like you got to get your money's worth.
We definitely learned a lot. Like, I think we'd take some different approaches next time. But all in all, I think we did great.
Yes, I think so as well. Really and like the panels that we did go to, the Witcher panel blew me away.
Yeah.
I really... There were a couple of lulls for a couple of minutes, but in general, like they're such charming guys. They're such like interesting dudes, and they care
in it
so much about it, and they want to make the greatest thing for the people who play the game, and they want to make the greatest thing for the guy who wrote these books, and they want to make the greatest thing for the people of Poland. I know that's so cheesy, but I mean, like, I do get the feeling that they're really proud of this in terms of their culture as well, and I think that's awesome. That just inspires me. That makes me so happy.
The next Warsaw Pact to be written by CD Projekt Red.
They're smart dudes. Again, the sights, the sounds, the people, the booths, the colors, the noise. I just loved every minute of it. Loved chatting to everyone that we spoke to. Loved trying out the games. Particularly loved playing the co-op games because like you both have moved away now, and getting to like play games with you guys side by side and make jokes and just take the piss was brilliant. It's something I'd been missing since you both moved away. Biggest disappointment, definitely Super Meat Boy, 100%. Heartbroken. I thought I was getting Super Meat Boy 2, and instead I'm getting an Endless Runner, which just means nothing to me. And the only other thing that kind of like left a bit of a bad taste was the feeling that so many of these games aren't really works of art or aren't really works of creativity in the way that The Witcher is, but more that these things are just to take your money.
Gearbox,
you know,
Gearbox,
Gearbox is Gearbox, Ubi churning out like Far Cry 5.
I mean, I'm not gonna lie. Far Cry 5, the setting actually interests me this time. I will say that much.
But it's gonna be the same boring game, and you're gonna do the same boring checklist, and just don't. Just don't.
Just saying. Just saying.
But so Ubisoft and Gearbox, and like it's just we've had that same old thing over and over, and as well, to be honest, the MMOs, they want to take your time.
Yeah.
They want to take your money. They want to take your
I don't have the time for MMOs.
You know, and I just like, I don't know. I so wish that we could walk around the show floor and see fun looking games and action games and play them, and they'd be like, yeah, this is a really interesting story, and this is the setting, and there's so much more to it, and you're gonna experience this, and you're gonna learn about these characters and stuff, and it's like, nope. Get together with 1,000 other people, buy a few skins, and you know this is you're gonna play the same thing, you know, the same shooting mechanics, the same mission types over and over and over again. And it's
Look, there's plenty of other podcasts out there that are going to be talking Final Fantasy 14, Guild Wars 2, Black Desert Online.
Get the details.
Go ahead there, but I like a variety.
Perhaps I need to give these things a go. Maybe like you said, Star Wars: The New Republic.
It's free to play now.
And it actually has a story to it. Oh, sorry, the Old Republic, not the New Republic. Something very different.
You play the original Guild Wars, I'll jump in with you.
I don't think I'm going to do that. But having loved, again, KOTOR, Knights of the Old Republic, as much as I did.
It's a good gateway for you to get in.
The Old Republic is meant to be good, so I don't know. If I have 100 million hours to spare, maybe someday I'll give that a go.
Okay, well, Steve-O, if you buy it, I'll buy it.
It's free though.
It's free, so I'm in.
Have it already.
If you put but it's only free to a certain point, isn't it?
Yeah. So if you get past a certain point, then you'll know.
If you get past a certain point, Steve, I'll get past a certain point.
That's a good agreement.
It actually is.
Yeah.
Fair play.
We should all do it. We should all stream it.
I'll hold it just as much as the last one.
We'll become an MMO. Rather be MMOing.
Rather be second lifing.
So, guys, I guess we're going to call that a cast, right?
Yeah, Elliot leaves here in 4.5 hours.
I don't think I'm going to sleep tonight, guys. We got to go get dinner.
Yes, seriously. Well, it's been real. It's been real life.
Yeah.
Sitting here next to you, it's been fun.
This has been great, guys. Thanks, everyone. If you want to follow us anywhere else, check out our website at ratherbecast.com, our Twitter at rbpcast. I mentioned our Instagram. We have Facebook, Rather Be Playing, YouTube as well. Check us out at all those. We're going to put up pictures. We're going to put up impressions. We're going to put up just and probably like maybe an article or two.
Yeah, hopefully a couple of articles, a couple of blog posts.
Stuff we like, just kind of breaking things down.
It's been such a fun weekend, and if you check out the Twitter feeds and check out the Instagram, like you can see a little bit of it.
Yeah.
I mean, I think we might be recuperating tomorrow for the most part.
I'll be flying home. Steve will be flying home, but the episode should go up on time.
Yep.
Hopefully, if you're listening to this, it is Tuesday morning.
Yes.
So
fingers crossed.
But yeah, until then, we will catch you. Hopefully, we'll have finished our 2 games.
Yes,
definitely. Spec Ops: The Line. I'm halfway through, and
I finished Spec Ops.
I know you guys.
I'm almost done with Wolfenstein. So
yeah. So we will buy ourselves another couple of weeks thanks to PAX.
Yeah.
And have everything done, and we'll be talking about it on episode 10. So we will see you then.
All right.
Cheers. Good luck.
Thanks, everyone.
Later, guys.
Goodbye.